Gems of War on the PlayStation 4. I'm back to the class quest for the Elemental class. Give me a second. This guy's done. I'm using my Silverglade team. See? So I won this actual battle against a level 23 enemy with a Silverglade team. So the Elementalist training continues in earnest. Let me get my reward for that. I think I'd have to kill a bunch of reds. God. How many? I have to do one Explorer run in the Pride Lands. Like, I can do that later, whatever. That's not too hard. I can complete the Pride. I've got all the quests unlocked. Like this one right here. I have to do an Explorer at difficulty level 2, huh? So we'll do that later. We'll just set it up. Okay, where were we? Let's see. Let's get my loot. The actual, once I unlock the Elementalist class, the mission, it's not that useful a class, unfortunately. There are no really good buffs. So I'm just unlocking it for funsies. Once you actually unlock the quest, leveling it up requires a very specific skill set, a very specific set of troops that I don't really have many of, because it's from a new kingdom I haven't used before, so we'll get to that later. But where is that kingdom? I don't even think we're allowed to use it yet. In fact, let me just mention that. Menu select. Right here. Get rid of that. Just a second. There we go. Up here. Remember we mentioned this earlier? I think every week, there's supposed to be a new ability we can unlock. Unless you want to buy a Kingdom Pass, which I won't. This is like early access. You're buying early access, which I have no intention of doing. Let's be brutally honest here. So we're not going to worry about that. So does that mean I can't use the kingdom yet? Seems like it. So eventually the kingdom will become available. But in the meantime, I got a new class, which will not serve me much good, because I think it's kind of a worthless class. But we're going to unlock it anyway, because that's how we play this game. You don't want to mess with the new content at least once. I was just playing this on my phone, so I unlocked this class on my phone. It's already level 10. It's not going to do me any good. It's a worthless class. Okay, so I get to use whatever troops I want now. Fight. Alright, so I'll use my Doomsayer, I guess. I'll probably end up using a different class of people. Where's my, what class do I want to level up? Should have one of my low level. I can beat him with my low level classes. I don't have anyone under level 10, I don't think. Yeah, this Plague Lord class is kind of worth. Oh, the Rune Priest. The Rune Priest is good. Magical Shield should be okay. But it's only for purple. Flick Stun, whatever. Gain magic from the last position. So this one's going to be okay. I can level up this one. How long have I had this one here? It might be useful. I'll grind it up. Do I want to use... I won't need the axe, but I can use the javelin, or let's use the javelin. I can use a yellow. Spirits guide me. That'll be good enough for now. Yeah, there aren't that many yellows on the board. So we'll keep the Incubus up top, because he's a charmer. Suggest banners. These battles shouldn't be too hard. Yeah, purples, I don't care that much about. We're not worried about purples. Again, these don't matter very much. I'll only use the banners if I have a campaign task that requires them. Okay, no 4 in a row. 15 and freeze. 16 and freeze. And create gem. 17 all enemies. These are all bad. Blues. Steal all the blues and greens. That's 4 in a row right there. So we'll steal all the blues and greens. You drop this. There's a 4 in a row. That's a nice cascade. Okay, so we're going to take that skull if there are no 4 in a rows. Okay, we got a charmer. Actually, let's use the... yeah, if we use the Undine, we'll silence all these guys unless they're immune. They're not immune. They're all dangerous. So they're all silenced. So now I can start charming people again. Who do we charm next? They're all silenced. We have plenty of time. We can charge up our magic too. Well, okay, one of them's been unsilenced. I might not need to charm anyone at all. I'm gonna blow through these guys. Okay, so we weakened the last dude. I left that skull on the board. Probably shouldn't have done that, but that's okay. We're gonna be fine. Who can I shock? This will kill one of the guys if I choose the blue. So we'll kill the last dude. Nice. The Charmer's just a meat shield now, but that's okay. We're good. True damage to weaken him. And he's burning too, which is always good. So let's break out the black or the blue. Blue's near the bottom, so we'll do that. He's almost dead. A couple more turns will kill him. This will kill him. Alright, that was easy. He'll be fine. Let's see. Extra treasure map. How many of these do I have? 200? Lost count, not that I'm complaining. They're always good for filler content. And when I don't have an internet connection nearby, the treasure maps are always fun when I'm playing on my phone. Because you don't need an internet... Once you begin the treasure hunt, you don't need an internet connection again until the treasure hunt is done. Or, unless you try to change... If you go to the options menu, then yeah, the phone's going to search for internet connection. But if you start a treasure hunt while you're online, and you end up in the treasure hunt screen, then you can play offline for at least several hours. Sometimes the game reboots, which is kind of annoying. I haven't quite figured out why the game reboots when it does, but I've reliably been able to play the game for 5 or 7 minute stretches when I'm not on the internet, because treasure hunt, if you're doing them well, you'll survive for like 5 or 6. You'll survive for at least 5 or 6 minutes. I want blue. No, red. So we'll get diagonal. So we'll destroy everything, all the reds and the yellows in this diagonal. And we'll destroy that skull right there. Red. See? Those are kind of cute. They aren't a big... I forgot what they're called. They're cute, but they're not a big deal. Okay, we can silence the leader after this 4 in a row. No more 4 in a row. So we can silence the leader by attacking the next 2 dudes. Double the brown. So the last 2 dudes are the dangerous ones. So we'll silence the leader, then we'll start charming people. We're good. Can't destroy a skull, because that would be 4 in a row. Charm him. Yeah, perfect. Okay, well, almost perfect. So now we can't use the charmer anymore because the two enemies aren't close to each other. Let's see. Is that a safe drop? That's actually a dangerous drop because that's going to bring him down here. Okay, so let's just do 1, 2, 3. That's a bad drop too. Purple's fine. We'll charge up our meat shield. Didn't need that. Ha! And a 4 in a row. So I'm gonna win this one, y'all. Let's use... What does this guy use? Purple and red. So we'll use purple with the Shocktopus to kill the leader. Done. Now we can use our javelin to kill this guy. Yeah, the javelin will kill him. 15 true damage. He only has 7 life points left. We're fine. So we're gonna get the yep. Let's get our reward, which is a new class that will serve us no purpose. So we'll grind through a couple of these in a second because I want to show you the problem I had when I was playing on my phone a while ago. Let's see. New class is available. Watch the restrictions. We're going to need this in a second. I'll show you why. You have to pick Nexus Kingdom troops from the Nexus Elemental troops. Guess how many I have? 0. So I'm gonna have to pull some. So I know what you're thinking. Let me get my this is gonna be an easy fight, so I'll break out the what you call it. Yeah, we'll use the extra turners. Use the extra turns. Can I upgrade this? Steal 3 life from the first enemy sounds pretty interesting. So we're using half our legendary ingots, but that's okay. We're gonna have to pull a few, so I'll show you the first thing I'm gonna do. From the chest, we're gonna pull I have like 200 of these when I'm playing on the phone. Maybe my guild's better. So this is the first troop, Natureborn, who entangles enemies and does damage to them. Not really strong enough to kill anybody, but he can do damage. This one's a very strong attack. Does a random amount of damage, boosted by green gems and allies. This could be this Poison Ivy looking character could be very useful. Let's see if I'm gonna pull a couple more event keys. It's a duplicate. Another duplicate. Fireborns. These aren't that useful, but you can burn enemies. You can burn multiple enemies at once, so it's not terrible. Against low-level enemies, he'll be useful. Against mid-level enemies, he's not as useful. So I needed at least 3 troops, so let's do that. The good news is that you can use the duplicates to help you out. Like you can have like a whole team of Natureborn Wardens if you want. Upgrade. Yeah, level 5 will be enough. I want to say level 4 was enough when I was playing on the phone, but anyway. Got to recruit him. And we'll have this dude right here, Natureborn Warden. So again, we can have a whole team of these guys if you want, but I don't see the point of doing that. Upgrade. That's good enough. That'll do for now. Whoops. Recruit. And the wolf. Upgrade. Cool. That'll be enough for now. Alright, so we'll stick with these dudes for now. Might not want to use them. How strong is he? Not that strong, actually. Which class? Well, obviously we're going to want our new class. Again, but you're going to see how worthless this is. Freeze a random enemy at the start of the battle. Stun an enemy when they deal skull damage to me. Summon a random storm on 4 or 5 gem matches. Whatever. Gain magic when using a mace. Immunity to frozen. Not that necessary. Gain 2 magic when using a hammer. Not that big of a deal. So this class is pretty... I never use polearms. This class is basically worthless. Gain a barrier when matching brown. But you gotta be level 40 to get that one. So yeah, this class is kind of worthless. I leveled it up once, but it's kind of bad. I don't even want to buy any upgrades for it. It's like I could go to the shop and buy some upgrades for it, but it's such a terrible class. Lord. So we're gonna grind through these enemies. In the queue I mentioned earlier, I got some Johnny Toe movies. Let's burn some guys eventually. Got Election. Triad Election, which is apparently Election 2. Those are streaming on TCBvGames. Vengeance is streaming on Plex, which is also free. And there's one other, The Office, which is a musical that he directed. So I'm curious about that one. 1, 2, 3. That's a bad drop. So I'm gonna do a Johnny Toe movie marathon. I'm gonna be a Johnny Toe expert by the time the year is done. I got a couple of Takashi Miike films I mentioned last time. I got Audition. TCBvGames was streaming Audition. Ichi the Killer is apparently one of his big movies, and it got re-released in the late. It got re-released in like 2017, I want to say, which they basically improved the special effects. So all the blood splurting CGI effects look a lot better than they did when the movie first came out, which might help, depending on the kind of movie it is. Again, I mentioned before, it doesn't look like my thing, but it might still be decent. Let's see. Steal 3 life from the first enemy. Well, that's true damage. That's nice. Let's see. Purple. 1, 2, 3. It's a safe drop. Ish. Nope. Purple. take it. So we get the extra turn. And we steal 5 life from the person who's still alive. Yeah, we're going to win, so let's just do this. So this will do 2 to 5 damage, boosted by green gems, of which there are 10, and allies, which there are several. So the boost ratio is going to be 12, so we're going to kill her. Well, nearly kill her. Did we only do 10 damage there? That was weird. Anyway, she's dead now. Problem solved. Like, again, that's a very... that was the problem. We were guaranteed to do 12 damage with that attack. We did a dice roll. So that wasn't going to help us very much. And for some reason, it only did 10 damage. I think we should have done more than that, but we'll get to that. And, oh yeah, I randomly found an old John Travolta film from 1999 called The General's Daughter. It's a book adaptation that's directed by Simon West. He behind Con Air and the first Tomb Raider movie. It's a really good-looking movie. He's doing like a Michael Bay... Simon West and a cinematographer are doing like a Michael Bay thing, for better or worse. But it's set in Louisiana and it looks great. Not sure about the story being any good. Oh yeah, what's his name? William Goldman, veteran screenwriter, a veteran script doctor, helped do the screenplay for this film, based on a notoriously misogynistic book that the author originally did. Apparently something about, this is back in the late 90s when women were starting to enter combat roles in the military, or at least they were thinking about it. And apparently it was this whole thing about... apparently the story may or may not have been about... You know, is the author implying that women are a liability in the military because they break... what's the word? Because they break order? Because the whole bit behind the story is that she's killed. It's a murder-rape, unfortunately. But the point is that... When Roger... For all you anime fans out there, all you Goblin Slayer fans out there, here's the bit. When this movie came out, the big criticism that people had about films like this, and Boys Don't Cry, in retrospect, kind of falls into this trap if you think about it. If you haven't seen it, you should see Boys Don't Cry is an amazing movie. The way it works is that it's a drama, but the way it works is that when a murder rape happens in a movie like that, the question is, what decision does the filmmaker, what decision does the director make in terms of how graphic they want to be when showing the act? Because obviously, when you show violence, you're always making a decision of how much blood is there. How much blood is there? Will you see the scars? Like, how will the scars look? How will the editing be done? Because, I mean, there are films like Pulp Fiction that get around some of the ultra-violence by not showing, they'll cut away from a gun shooting a guy in the head, but they'll show the blood splatter on the back of the car, like that kind of thing. And in a movie like General's Daughter, the big complaint about that movie was, why are they fetishizing this woman being violated? That I haven't seen the movie yet, so those are the criticisms I read about it. But of course, when Goblin Slayer came out, the whole conversation at that time was, this anime is disgusting. They're showing a teenager being violated. Of course, it's framed in such a way that Mother's Basement did a whole video explaining to people that, look, they framed this like it's hentai. So they went the salacious route. And of course, a lot of people defend Goblin Slayer because it's grimdark. So they're going for that 1970s Frank Miller Punisher vibe, I guess. What was it? Berserk kind of did the same thing. I've only seen the first 4 episodes of it, so it's been a while since I've seen it, so I can't really judge. But apparently that original manga was super grimdark. I did not like the first episode of Berserk at all. But the second episode is when the main character starts meeting the troupe. He starts meeting the gang, if you will. So I prefer that stuff because, like in Boys Don't Cry, it's about the idea that this character isn't going to be suffering for the entire story. It's not just It's not just, you know, grim, grim, dark, dark, murder, murder, no parents, you know, like Lego Batman stuff. It was literally going to be like, they're going to build up this dark past for him, which I thought was just kind of interminable, and just like the Joker movie I haven't seen yet with Joaquin Phoenix. But that's the thing. Because the main criticism of the Joker film was the film had one note. It was a one-note drama where it just kept beating the same drum repeatedly over and over again, and it never deviated in tone. That was the criticism of that movie. I'll get around to watching it eventually. I was supposed to get it from the library, but my backlog is too massive, so I decided to stream stuff instead. There was a Chinese film I was gonna watch. What was it called? Sympathy for Lady Death or Sympathy from the Devil? I forgot what it was called. It was a Chinese film that what was it? Manohla Dargis called one of the best films of the 20th century or the 21st century. It's apparently one of those, like, apparently it's a series of short films. But it's supposed to be sort of really incisive about the modern China. I forget which province it's set in. But it's supposed to be this really fascinating look at, you know, 21st century China. And it's got the criminal element in it, so I think it's a crime movie ostensibly too. We'll find out. Like, there's prostitution in there, that kind of thing. But I'm curious how it plays out, because I think apparently the director I forgot how to pronounce his name. I don't remember how to pronounce his name. But he's being compared to Tarantino, so I'm curious how this is going to turn out. But that's the film I actually found at the library. Touch of Evil, or was it Touch of Sin? I don't remember the title. I'll look it up. But again, sounds really fascinating. But again, it's a film that's supposed to intrigue people like me, because my family, we were always kind of indie types. We watched Siskel and Ebert back in the 90s. We were the kind of people who went to the theater to watch Hoop Dreams because it was highly regarded. If we were adults at the time, we would have gone to the theater to see My Dinner with Andre, because we were that kind of family. Well, my siblings and I were. My parents were not. They were more conventional, like they would watch stuff like The Color Purple, but we were not allowed to watch that as kids, because without getting too sociological about it, back in the 80s, there was this whole conversation about, how do we want black men to be portrayed? Do we want our children to see black men be portrayed this way? Because that was one of the bits about Color Purple when it came out, was that, our black, is this how we want black men to be portrayed in Hollywood? Because remember, this is before Black Panther. This was before, back then, you had people like not Samuel Jackson. You had Danny Glover was in The Color Purple. Obviously, you had guys like Roots had come out like 7 or 8 years prior to that. But the argument was in Hollywood, do people want to see movies about black people, starring black people with no white people in them? And it was this whole thing about, even more people were asking, or do people want to see films about black lesbians, among other things? I mean, if you've read the book, it's about, a black lesbian atheist who gets violated in the very first chapter of the book. I read that book in high school. I was in AP English. I was in AP English Lit, and we had a choice of reading at least one book we could choose. They split the class into groups. So one group of kids would read a Toni Morrison book, The Bluest Eye. One group of kids would read The Color Purple, and I chose that book because we had it in our basement. So I said, okay, I don't have to buy it or go to the library and find it. It's sitting right there in our basement. So I would go down to the basement and read The Color Purple for the first time. And there was one other book. I think it was not jazz. It was The Bluest Eye, Color Purple. I think there was one other book we were given the option. Which of these books by black female authors did you want the class? What did the class choose to read? So it was like a book report. It was me and a group of like 3 other people who would read The Color Purple and provide some kind of analysis on what we had read so far. And then another group of people read The Bluest Eye, and they would give their own analysis. We're gonna kill her. So it became a whole thing where it was like, this is my exposure. Before I graduated from high school, I was exposed to Alice Walker. I did not get a chance. I've still never read a Toni Morrison novel. I'll get around to it, but I never got around. I never read one. This is why high school students, this is why high schoolers are exposed to these things. Because if they aren't exposed to this before they graduate, they may never choose to get exposed to it later. I read that same English teacher gave us had us read The Sound and the Fury. We all had to read that book. Fantastic book, by the way, but it's really, really challenging. The first chapter alone will blow your mind. It's really... The first chapter of that book is like Ulysses by James Joyce. You'll never understand it. She knew that we weren't gonna get it right away, but she was kind of trying to guide us through it. And then the second chapter is really freaking arty. Like it's about a kid in a, I think it's about a kid in college who is who's in an incestuous relationship. We'll talk about that later, I guess. Well, I'm really bringing out the hardcore material, aren't I, in this video? But the point, we're talking about literature and art, people. Bear with me. We watch movies and we watch cartoons and video games on this channel, but we also talk about art occasionally. Mash the 4 in a row from the side, of course. We lost a skull match, but that's okay. But the whole point of the book is that it's about this perspective of a family, and you're slowly being introduced to this family by being introduced to the least reliable narrators of all time. In fact, that book is about the least reliable narrators of all time. It starts out with a kid, I think, is the kid on the autistic spectrum? It starts out from the point of view of a kid who's on the autistic spectrum, I want to say. I forget. And then the second chapter is from a guy who, like I said, is sort of a really sort of aloof college student who's in that incestuous relationship I was telling you about. And then there's the third character who's just flat out, straight up racist, straight up white supremacist. The book is set in the South, in case you're wondering. And let's do that. And so after going through 3 chapters of these 3 unreliable narrators, the first narrator, of course, like I said, he's very hard to get a grasp on because the book makes this character intentionally hard to understand. You know, it's the prose includes descriptions of things that are on the table that just disappear, which I think is the author's way of describing how sort of this particular character is not able to make sense of the world around him because again of his mental state. So basically, I guess he's trying to describe this character as a child, for better or worse. He's like a kid. He's a grown kid. He's an adult kid who's stuck in the form of a baby, I guess. So I guess you're introduced to this character as if this were like a baby, a toddler. So if you're a toddler and you see something on the table, it just disappears. The author's conveying to you that this narrator is so unreliable, he can't make sense of things that are in front of him no longer being there. Like the narrator is so unreliable in that story that your sense of space and time is completely thrown out of whack, which is another reason why the story is so frustrating for the average reviewer. I knew a lady who was a bookworm. Like she was a hardcore she was a librarian at a university in in the Seattle area, who incidentally was also a 50-year-old fan of the X-Men animated series from the 1990s, which we'll talk about later, of course. Which obviously is getting a reboot for, what is it? It's getting an X-Men 97 coming out. Disney Plus is getting it. I'm never going to watch it. I'm not getting Disney Plus. I can't be bothered. So I'll probably end up watching it on DVD or pirate it. I don't know. I don't know what the rules are. I haven't seen WandaVision. I'll watch it when the library gets it on DVD. It'll be on DVD eventually. You know how these things work. Disney would not be so dumb as to ignore people who might want to watch it for free, or at least buy it on DVD. Disney is not dumb enough to not sell that on DVD. They'd be leaving a pile of money on the table. They probably had screeners for the Emmys. But WandaVision sounds like one of those things where it's like WandaVision and Squid Game are like that. It's like They want you to watch it now because they want to maintain engagement as long as possible. They want you to be engaged as soon as possible. We're going to drop these 2 columns up here by dropping these 2 columns right here with this yellow color match. That's the stair step I'm talking about. Now we're going to take that T. Now we're going to take another T. Now we're going to use our bell here for the extra turn. And we done? I think we're done. Nope, we got 4 in a row over here. And we have another 4 in a row over here. We're not done yet, kids. 1 down. We're whittling them down. You might need to level up these characters, though, if I'm being honest. Can't move that. Let's do the purple. Got the purple wild card. Let's see. Use the bell. These guys are a lot stronger. I'm going to need something better. I'm going to need to level these guys up. So anyway, unreliable narrators. So yeah, we talk about art occasionally on this channel, I guess. I did a whole anime rant. With Gems of War a couple of months ago. If you want to listen to that, I talk about High School of the Dead compared to the Street Fighter 2 anime fight between Chun-Li and Vega Balrog. It's my dissertation on the difference between what is it? Fan service that's just salacious and gratuitous, and fan service that's actually empowering. Because the whole bit was, oh, fan service can be empowering. Yeah, well, Street Fighter 2 is fan service in a sense that you have Chun-Li fighting in a nightgown in her undies against a topless dude who's trying to kill her. Okay, but it's not framed like High School of the Dead frames it to be fan service, like Purian. But Street Fighter 2 frames it like an actual knockdown, drag-out fight between 2 people who are, okay, they're supermodels, but the idea, I watch that video, right? It's my anime rant. It's my Gems of War anime rant. Watch that video. Search for it, you'll find it. It'll be enlightening. But the point is that it's possible to, 4 in a row. The point is that it's possible to be empowering in your fan service, but most directors are just sort of prurient about it. So the question is, as we come full circle, we were talking about the General's Daughter. We'll see how it's done. We'll see how it's done. Because some films are just kind of, like, some directors are just kind of, yeah, this is my chance to sort of stage my own personal adult material. Artfully, I suppose. And some directors are like, yeah, okay, you guys want this. We're going to have Chun-Li in the shower before this fight, but she's not going to fight naked. We're not dumb. This movie's going to be rated PG-13. So we're going to have the fan service in a single shot that can be cut out of the final footage so that we're still PG-13 friendly when we censor it for North America. And then we're going to have the rest of the fan service what you would expect. Let's drop that wild card. Perfect. Didn't get the extra turn, though. Can't match the yellows. That's okay. I'm going to lose. Yeah, it's 4-on-1. We're going to lose. Alright, I tried. I forgot to do a guild war. We'll do a guild war in the next video. I just need stronger enemies. But I don't want to do any more of these fights. These fights are going to be incredibly tedious with these very weak allies that I have here. We can kill him. Got the extra turn, yeah, because I killed an enemy, so I got the extra turn. And I created 2 elemental stars. That's what they're called. Elemental stars. Which destroy things diagonally, but they only match 4 colors. What is it? Red, blue, brown, and green. Another 4 in a row. We're not dead yet. Let's entangle him anyway. Entangle him. They're all dangerous. In fact, you need to entangle what's her name down there, but I'm not going to beat her. I'm not nearly strong enough. That's okay. Don't move that. I give him the skull match. If she gets that skull match, well, it's an entanglement, so He can't use it. See? He's entangled. He can't use it. So we'll use this Doom Skull to blow up all the skulls around him. He's still entangled. Yeah, we're going to use it anyway. Not entangled anymore. 2 down. Again, I'm not going to win, see? Not going to happen. Okay. I know I got distracted. Like I said, we've come full circle. And there's one other film I said I was going to watch. General's Daughter was supposed to be my brain-off movie, even though it looks good. It's a brain-off movie for me. So let's collect my loot. I'm going to collect talents for a class I'm never going to use ever again. It's sad, really. So we'll customize. Do a quick check. And, yeah, this is gonna suck. Freeze a random enemy. None of these are any good. Summoning a random storm doesn't know me at all. See, this only works because it means an enemy can't get extra turns. But, I mean, you're freezing a random enemy, not a specific one. I want to use a mace or a hammer. They both suck. I can use a mace, I guess. I think I have a decent mace somewhere. Guild War. We'll set that up in a second. I'll tell you what, we'll do a Pride Land. We'll set up the Pride Lands run. I didn't use the tome. I should have used the tome. That's what I get for not paying attention. For my exploration run, I can use my tome. So let's go to the campaign task. This will be an easy one, so I can grind through it. Do the thing. This is my home kingdom? No, it's not. The class quest is complete. Where's my tome? I don't want to use Incubus for these guys. These guys aren't strong enough, so I don't want to waste a charmer on him. I have a tome. Have I used any tomes? I have never used tomes. Well, I'm using it now. Destroy a gem, destroy a row and a gem, or explode a gem. I kind of prefer destroying a row and a column. Although exploding is fun, but whatever. Upgrade. I'm never going to use these ever again. Yeah, I never use these. We'll save these for a weapon that I actually want to use. Okay, so let's get a different troop in here. Undine's there. Queen Mab is very useful against weaker enemies, actually. We're fighting weak enemies. We can have some fun with them. What's Valor? Destroy damage. Yeah, whatever. What was it? Yeah, the Bullzerker. I wanted someone who could... Yeah, this guy does a decent amount of damage, actually. Boost him by... Yeah, keep him near the bottom. He's yellow and red, so I'll keep him available. But I have to move him down to the bottom. And we'll keep the Shocktopus there, because he's there. She's just there to boost Undine. Let me do one last check of something. I could also use not the Swamp Rat. True damage to 2 enemies, or a 50% chance to do 2 enemies. True damage to an enemy. There was one that I really liked. I forgot what it was called. Cleansing an ally. Yeah, takes life away from an ally. Yeah, this one's very good. Does a massive amount of damage based on you can do a massive amount of damage to 1 enemy. Damage 2 enemies. Boosted by green allies, of which there is only 1. Well, there are 2 now. That's not terrible. Ooh, 2 to 3 times 3 ratio. So there are 2 allies. That means I should get 6 extra damage out of this to 2 enemies. Might be worth it. Let's use him instead. Might be better than the Bullzerker. We'll see how it goes. Bullzerker might have a better set of colors though. But I think we'll be fine. No, don't overthink it. These guys will be easy. We're gonna grind up our Plague Lord. But I love doing this. Like the Plex service is very good about this. When you go through their inventory, when you go through their catalog, they'll do a Rotten Tomato listing for most of the movies that are on there. which is fine for people like me because I get to see stuff like what Man on Wire got like 100% fresh. So there's some movies I've never heard of, like Trans-Siberian, which is a film I'm gonna watch with Woody Harrelson. I think Rooney Mara is in it. Ben Kingsley's in that one. A film I never heard a thing about that film. We got a match. Whoop! I was gonna match skulls. Better. I'm glad I took the 4 in a row. So we get to keep our turn going. We took away all the skull matches from our enemies, so that's good. Got a red match coming up. Let me get that green. Perfect. Okay, we're almost all charged up. We're gonna grab purple. Yeah, let's charge everything up. We'll be fine. That's a dangerous slide. Not that we're gonna die or anything. We can silence the leader. Just a second. 4 in a row first. 4 in a row there. Okay, we're all charged up. We get an extra turn, right? Yep. 16. We're gonna do 17. See the boost on the right-hand side? On the right-hand side. I have 3 green allies. Well, I'm green too, so we're gonna do 17 damage to 2 enemies. I appreciate that. Yeah, we get the extra turn, so it's 2 free hits, and we'll silence. Actually, not to silence them. All right, we'll hit him eventually. Silence the leader by attacking the last 2 guys, and because this leader was blue, and then we'll just kill him. We can't kill him yet, can we? We can blow up the skull next to him. Or we can just use shock damage. 9 will kill him. What does he use? Blue? Yeah, we'll use his blue. Of course he uses blue. That's why he's silenced. So we hit him with the blue and he's dead. So again, it was like, this Trans-Siberian movie is 90% fresh. So I'll put it in my queue. And then I go to Roger Ebert's website and I'm like, oh, this film got 3.5 stars from Roger Ebert. So I'll read the reviews later. But I mean, like, stuff like this I've never heard of. Like that Double Dare documentary about the stunt women is pretty good. It's not great. It's a solid B-. It's a B documentary. I give it a B grade. I would give it a fresh rating. It's not a great movie. But, you know, you're watching it at home. You don't have to go. Like, I would not go to a theater. There was a time when I was a kid when my siblings and I would rent a DVD, would rent a video cassette from Errol's or Blockbuster Video, and we would rent a documentary like Double Dare because it's about stunt women. And of course, you know what, my sister might want to see it, and because it got 2 thumbs up from whoever, I would have wanted to see it eventually anyway. Now, I wouldn't want to go to a movie theater to see something like that because it's a documentary about stunt women. It's a documentary about stuntsmen. It's not a big. It's not. You don't have to see that on the big screen. It's a good movie. But I saw it. I saw it at home on Plex. It's a perfectly acceptable, perfectly good, very informative documentary about stunt women. I'm glad I saw it. In fact, after what, like, it was about. What's the film about? It's about a woman who was it's about a 70-year-old stunt woman who was one of the pioneers in the industry back in the late 70s. I forgot what film she worked on. But if you saw the clips, you would know the films I'm talking about. You know, she's a person, and that's right. She was Linda Carter's stunt double in the Wonder Woman TV series. That was her thing. So she's like, you know, she's like on a, what do you call it? She's on a rig. So I think she's like, yeah, she's on a rig with invisible wires, I guess. No, actually, I think she's either jumping. You know how it is. They would show a woman, a stunt woman, in Linda Carter's costume, jumping down from an airplane onto like a mat. I guess that's it. Like on a runway, you jump from the top of an airplane downward, but of course you reverse the film so it looks like Wonder Woman is jumping on top of a plane from a runway. That kind of, you know, typical 1970s. Filmmaking, if you will. Who are we gonna silence? Can't silence him. We can kill him though, right? Yeah, we can kill him. Kill him. Okay, done. So I decided to kill the leader who's going to attack us. So we're going to attack 2 people and get an extra turn. So this is free damage. Okay, so now we have an extra turn. We can use Shocktopus. The 2 enemies on the screen don't share a color. So that won't help. But we can kill the leader, right? No, we can do 10 damage to the leader with this book. Actually, we can kill them if we take out these 2 Doom Skulls and take out the skull over here. Boom. See? Strategy. So yeah, Double Dare is a decent documentary. It's worth watching. It's the kind of documentary you would stream. Let's kill this guy. Done. Was there another movie I already talked? We'll talk about Posse later. Posse was terrible. Actually, I've only saw the first 2.5 acts. I haven't seen the final action scene. The movie's terrible. I saw that film in theaters. I saw Lisa Mazza cheat Mr. Death with the director of the film. Because, you know, perks. Mario Van Peebles is his father's son. Because Mario Van Peebles cheated Mr. Death with a random actress in Sweetback, which I did see on VHS about 2 decades ago. I don't think it's streaming anywhere. It might be streaming at a library. Hoopla is a library service I need to sign up for. Their selection tends, I want to say it tends closer towards like the indie film stuff, the documentary stuff. I'll check them out. Their selection is supposed to be decent but not great, but it's free. And if you have a library card, you don't have to pay any. But like I said, if you can stream Hoopla with a library card, you can go on TubiTV right now and watch a whole bunch of, you know, foreign films and art house films, cartoons. You can watch Conan the Adventurer and Transformers and G.I. Joe and Gem on TubiTV. You can watch Pluto TV for free with ads. Hoopla has no ads. That seems to be their thing. So maybe that's why I want to start recommending it for people, obviously. I'll check out Hoopla by the end of the year, because I've been telling people about all the free ad-supported services. I'm like, people are like, watch Cowboy Bebop on Netflix. Watch the anime. I'm like, just go on Tubi TV and watch the subtitled version for free. It's free. They have ads, but so did the Cartoon Network airing. I do need to watch... Actually, I'm going to watch Cowboy Bebop this weekend. I'm going to set it up. Not tonight, but later. I saw nearly every episode that Cartoon Network aired when it was airing over there. I gotta go back to the Pride Lands. Give me a second. Sorry, we got distracted. I got stun locked. I apologize. So once I finish this run, I'll be able to clear out. I'll be able to get my 3 stinking bronze stars. But this is an easy one. Some of these quests are like kill 70 red enemies, or it's like kill like 50 red enemies. That would take like an hour or so. This should take like 10 minutes. And these enemies are pretty easy, so we'll grind through them. So the Warriors, we'll talk about the Warriors later. I already mentioned that was a film I saw. I saw that film at least a dozen times when I was a kid. No, let me rephrase that. I saw every scene in that movie on Betamax and VHS out of order when I was a kid at least a dozen times. But I never saw the film. I never sat down and watched it from beginning to end until last week. It's okay. I give it a C+. Oh, drop these 2 columns. Here's the stair step. Drop these 2 columns. Boom. With that color match. So that's a safe drop. We can silence the second dude. We can silence the Shadow Pantherist, right? Your Shadow Hunter. The buff Chitara Black Panther XP, I guess. Like, what would you call her? She's black. She's the Black Panther, but she's female, so I guess she's Shuri. And she's anthropomorphic. She's basically Chitara. She's Panthero's sister. She's basically Khajiit. That's a safe drop, right? We don't need that. Can we silence her? This is gonna hurt. You have to silence her. You gotta silence her immediately. Darn it. Okay, we'll target her directly. She was too dangerous. I couldn't let her get it. She had the 44. She could have killed my leader with that swing. So I had to take her out. Can't kill them yet. Can we get 4 in a row if we get rid of a gem? No. Okay, fine. Take the red with the wild card. That's fine. We can do a red. What's he gonna hit us with? Create red and purple gems. Curse and burn the first enemy. Let's get rid of some of these reds and purples then. What do you know? Do I have a 4 in a row? Got it. So we have a skull match. He just keeps giving me skulls. He keeps spawning skulls. I'm never gonna complain about that. Here's another Khajiit. Hellclaw Mage. We'll be fine. The 2 enemies don't share a color. So we'll get around that. Dead. Take the L. Because we took away a skull match, but that's okay. We'll beat him the old-fashioned way. There are 4 skulls here, so we can't kill her yet. There are 4 skulls here, 2 skulls vertically. So we can't kill anyone yet. We can kill her with the Shocktopus. We'll get around to it. Okay, use the ow. Enough. Kill him. No, well. I kind of wish you would get like if you could take a penalty if you lose an ally during the fight. Like I'd be curious if you can get like a bonus, like if you didn't use any magic spells but you won anyway, like that kind of thing. Like making an achievement at least. Ooh, I earned a Kingdom Pass crown. Why did I earn that? If I'm complaining, I guess. We have one more fight to do. Let me do the menu select over here. So I can't. These keys unlock gem chest in the chest. Okay, but we can't unlock that. So if I got a... Oh, I need 5 crowns. See at the top... See at the left-hand side of the screen? I need 5 more crowns to level up. So I have to wait for it to drop, I guess. That was explained to me very poorly a couple of days ago, so... Maybe I haven't picked up on that yet. So we'll go back here and finish up the dungeon run. So we're just... ranting. Yes, I guess the plan is to watch Cowboy Bebop the anime first. If I were a YouTuber, I would be putting stuff up. So I'll do what I normally do, which is rant about Cowboy Bebop during Gems of War at some point in the near future. Or I could rant about it while I'm playing like a chill game like Sims 4 or My Time at Portia or whatever it's called. Like, I could rant about that while I'm wandering around in Skyrim, or... or better yet, if I were wandering around in, what's that game? Minecraft. I need to play Minecraft. I don't need to play Minecraft, but I bought the PS4 version, so I need to get around to playing it eventually. I was at the... don't get me started. I found out that 3 of the games that I own just spiked in price in the last couple of months. Like, literally last month. One of my games spiked in price. Yeah, the Trine Ultimate Collection spiked in price last month. Gravity Rush 2 might have as well. Oh, Romance of the Three Kingdoms 14. I've been sitting on that for a year and a half. That thing spiked in price. That was a dangerous drop. I never should have done that. Well, all works out. I'm still going to win. I was trying to make it not to make any dumb moves. I can silence the 3rd chick. Who's down the bottom? Oh, that guy on the bottom, see the crown he's got? The guy on the bottom enemy has a crown on the top left-hand corner of his card. So if I win this fight, if I kill him, I'm going to get that crown. So I had no idea that was a thing. So maybe I have to do the exploration quest to earn those crowns. We'll silence him later. Give me a second. Someone has a red gem creation ability. Yeah, someone's creating these red gems. It's not me. No. I mean, it might be me. Someone is creating these freaking gems. All purple, yeah. Is there a trait someone has turned on? Yeah, I probably have a trait that's turning that on. It's not me. I'm not gonna complain. Purple. Gotta double check to make sure those are safe drops. I'm getting lazy. So we'll attack the first two enemies. Actually, what's his deal? Ugh. Kill that guy on the bottom. He's gonna be a liability for sure. Kill him. Like, you have to kill him. He is very dangerous. We gotta take him out. 2 down. Do not take away all of his reds and browns. Do not let him charge that spell up at all. Give me that. Not dead yet, apparently. He's going down, son. Reds and browns. Kill him with the brown. We are down with brown. Perfect. Yeah, that last enemy was a very dangerous enemy. He could have done 48 true damage to one of our. That could have easily killed one of us. Here we go. Kingdom Pass. So I need 3 more of those. So we got our mini boss battle. This should be pretty easy. It's a free fight. We're not gonna lose. What's our class level? 4. So we have to go up 1 more level. That behemoth's gonna be a problem. So we're gonna go for him first, I think. Deal 10 damage to all. Okay, he's not that bad. 10 damage to all enemies isn't that bad. But when he's leveled up, he's very bad. Explode 3 brown gems and do 13 damage. So the first enemy and the second enemy and the fourth enemy. Steal all their yellows, then steal blues and browns. But everyone uses yellow. Blues and browns are for the last enemy. Yellows, reds, then blues and browns. It's green. We have 4 in a row. We do. Good thing I double checked. So I got that wild card I wanted. And we'll take that skull match. It's an easy match. We'll whittle these guys down. He left a skull match on the board again. Random AI nonsense. Are we gonna get the extra turn? So we're gonna. Yep. So we get the extra turn after 2 free hits. Who are we gonna silence? We can't silence anybody, can we? We can silence him. Take out the second dude. Done. Is he not silenced? He's immune to all status effects. That's a second trait. Fine. We can't kill him, but we can use red or yellow damage, right? Use red or yellow damage to kill the first 2 enemies. Don't drop the red. Drop the yellow, then. I didn't want to give him a skull match, but it all worked out for him. We're going to win. 4 in a row. Skull match will kill him. All right. I'll take that Intrepid Explorer task with the 3, I got 7 mist stones, because of course. If you really want these mist stones, you have to use your guild, because the guild will give you 500 mist stones a week, I want to say. There also might be some, I think those guild quests where you get those mist stones. Okay, they're the easiest, they're the most reliable way to get a large numbers of them, I would argue, is from your guild. How many Dominator battles? 4. Those are easy. We'll win those. They're PvP, so we can we could do Guild War stuff for that, so I can set that up in the next video, actually. We're not going to win with a tome, I'll tell you that right now. We're never going to win with a tome. We can grind up, tell you what, we can grind up. How many more tome battles do we need? 8. So we can do some random dailies. We can do these dailies and get our dander up. These are easy fights. Gems. These are easy fights. So I'll continue with my rant. That'll be a good excuse for me to continue with my rant. Yeah, November, from now until Thanksgiving, it's supposed to be chill games. So my Life at Portia is going to be coming up eventually. I should have some more forager